Hi, long time no see, Aristocats. So, I feel like I do have to say, I think it was the day before we saw the movie. Maybe it wasn't the day before. It was sometime before we saw the movie. Clay and I were going out for a drive, and I remember saying, here's what I honestly think is going to happen when we watch Aristocats. I think you, who the entire time has been vocal about how much you don't want to see this movie, how much you hate this movie, you're going to be like, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I maybe still don't like it's okay, but it's not awful. And me, who has been hyping it up the entire time, like, come on, man, I'm going to be like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not great. It's maybe a little more boring than I remember, but I liked it. And I think that's kind of what happens. Like, you were talking, though, you're like, man, I hate this. I don't want to be here. Like, I feel like that was... You
that was overacting.
Yeah, because it was like, it's...
Because I was giving the movie its fair shot. But, like, to explain... I don't know if I've explained on this why I don't like Aristocats. Yes. But, see, when I was a kid, we had a copy of the Aristocats. And, like, every time, like, there was a family member of mine who would come over. And that was our favorite movie. We would watch it. We would watch until the frickin' VHS tape wore out. And as a kid, I was like, I watched it like one or two times. I'm like, it's fine. But after like the frickin' like 20th time, I'm like, make it stop. Make it stop. Which I only assume is what my parents went through because I did the exact same thing with The Lion King. But I hadn't watched it since then. So it was time for me to give it a new perspective.
Give it fair shake.
I still don't like this movie.
Okay.
So, I feel like my biggest problem with the movie is just... It feels like there's a real lack of direction. It's like, okay, so, the butler did it. He finds out, my mistress is going to will the cats all of her shit. I have to take care of these cats, and only when they die do I actually get all my stuff. And then we get to a really dumb fucking scene where he's like, okay, if each cat lives 12 to 15 years, but they all have 9 lives, well, I'll be dead before then. I'm like...
I was laughing. I thought it was funny.
I'm like,
like, not hilarious, but like, I gotta laugh at it.
Now, that actually just kind of upset me.
I remember you were like, I hate this movie so much. How dare they insult my intelligence with this joke? Arg!
Because it's like... Oh, my good back. You alright, man?
No, it's been ass for like the whole week.
I'm sorry. My back's been kind of shit, too. We're all getting old.
Oh, I'm old as hell. I remember I tried standing up the other day and my knees said, no!
But anyways, so it's like, okay, so I would sympathize with the butler, except he's a fucking moron. And even then, it's like, okay, let's assume he is this retarded, right? So when the lady dies and the cats get all the dough, well, he's still the person who takes care of them, so he essentially has it.
Yeah, so essentially...
It's like, all he has to do is take care of the cats, which he's already doing!
Yeah, I mean, basically, he's like a trustee.
Yeah, he's a trustee. But it's like, I mean, and even if this guy was like, I don't want to take care of these fucking cats, he could just, I don't know, do what he does in the movie, but after she's gone, and then he could be like, well, shit, the cats left, and the cats were, they just have to be found dead in the ditch. I guess the money's mine now, sorry. That's how it goes. That's how it should have been. But no, this guy's a moron. He assumes that, each cat is going to live 15 years, which cats can, but that's not really...
I mean, mine lived like 16.
But the 9 lives thing is like... It's like you sympathize with him, but then he starts being a dumbass, and you're like,
and then starts, trying to like kill cats and like send them to Timbuktu, and you're like, yeah, I'm a cat person, so
yeah. It's like,
speaking of which, where's my puppy?
I feel like if he had maybe like 1 or 2 IQ points more than what he had, he wouldn't really be the villain, because he'd be like, oh, wait, I basically get the money anyways.
Like, yeah.
And then it becomes a story about him trying to kill the old lady early on.
Or he's just like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
I can wait a few years.
But, But yeah, it's like, so after that, the plot just kind of lost me a little bit. I'm like, okay, so this is starting on a stupid fucking pretense. It's not even like a funny joke kind of pretense. And it's like, okay, so then he like goes and dumps the cats in the river after being chased by these two fucking dogs, which these are my least favorite characters in the movie. Possibly my least favorite characters in Disney so far.
Really?
Because they had
not like Napoleon and Lafayette that much?
They're not funny. They're in like 2 fucking scenes, and they go on way too long. The slapstick isn't even that funny, and it's like, because slapstick, the basics of slapstick is that the person getting hurt deserves it, right? And it's
the butler deserves it.
I mean, the butler deserves it, but I was just thinking in the back of my mind, so these dogs don't know it.
Yes, the dogs are just jerks.
The dogs are just assholes.
But the dogs get some slapstick to them too, because they also deserve it because they're jerks.
Yeah, but it's like okay, and Tom and Jerry, they both hate each other. They both know why the other one deserves to die. So that's why they keep going at each other. That's funny. It's like, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, like the enmity between each other. That's what makes it work. This, it's just, I'm the leader. I decide what we're gonna do. Charge. And it just wasn't funny.
They're worse than the elephants in Dumbo. Now again,
you like the elephants in Dumbo, and I liked them. I thought they were funny. They were assholes.
Okay.
Out of my way.
Yes, out of my way, assassin is probably my favorite line. But the elephants were so unlikable throughout the entire, aggressively unlikable throughout the rest of the movie.
But they still had a funny moment. They were still funny. These dogs are not funny. Them chasing the butler's not funny. I just didn't like them. And the 2 scenes that they're in are relatively pointless because the end result, the butler gets what he wants either way, because he abandons the cats, which is what he was going to do in the first place, and he gets his shit back in the second one. Mm-hmm. So we could have just skipped these scenes, and I'm focusing a lot on these dogs, but they really are like my least favorite part of this movie, which I already don't like. So let's move on to the cats. So you got what's her name? The
Duchess.
Ava
Gabor.
You got Duchess, who is voiced by Ava Gabor, which is just one of the most lovely voices I've ever heard. Like, her voice is just like, it's one of those things where it's like you want to hear her sing a lullaby, and it's just going to knock you out because it's just so soothing. And I do admit I like Duchess. I like Duchess and O'Malley.
Yes.
Because I feel like they have legitimate chemistry.
There's sexual tension every time they're on screen together. Like, these two want to bone aggressively, especially during the song when Duchess starts playing the harp and everyone else is chilling. You got the lighting and just, if you want to turn me on.
I'm like, oh, this is a kid's movie.
Yeah, I was like, I remember that from the last time I saw Aristocats, because I was wait, what?
See,
why is that in this movie? That is your Pinocchio.
See, this is how you know that the last time I saw this movie was as a kid, because that line didn't do any, I didn't understand it as a kid. Now I do, and I'm
also,
what the fuck?
It's not Uncle Boris, because that's what I thought it was going. I don't remember what his name was, but the drunk Uncle Goose. I
didn't think it was that funny. What?
Yes, you did, because I remember you saying it, dear. You're like, dang it, this is actually really funny. Don't try and pretend that I can't remember things.
It usually works. Anyways, so I like O'Malley.
You got something to say there, bucko?
I already said it, or are you too dumb to comprehend it?
I'm a fucking moron. I can't even comprehend Sue.
I'm incomprehensible.
I was trying to just say 2, and then for some reason it came out as an I got a bad case of the Mike Tysons.
Anyways, so I like Duchess and O'Malley because I feel like they have good chemistry. They play off each other really well. O'Malley feels like he's like the smooth talker, but he doesn't feel scummy.
Yes.
He's like, he's just a legitimately nice guy. He feels like Tramp almost. He's like the cat version of Tramp, but a little less playboy. Trickstery.
Because he's not trying to get anything out of it. He is just like, she's a cutie. I'm gonna help her out. Like, she got kids.
Okay.
I guess she got kids.
I mean, he was like, oh crap, she's already got kids.
Yeah, but then after that, he's like, alright, it's fine.
The kids.
Okay, the part though when the kids are like, are we gonna have a father? It was like, oh, that's actually really sad.
Yeah, because they never even bring up when their dad. I mean, chalk it up to the Disney magic that dictates that at least one parent has to be dead. Except in Sleeping Beauty. Because both of them survive.
Sleeping Beauty have both parents. Okay, I don't want to go through like the whole.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Mind, but
we have other things to do. The kids, I didn't care for because I thought, okay, the girl was just kind of annoying. The black-haired cat was just there. He didn't do much, and
he could play the piano like nobody's business. He was a boss.
And then you have the orange cat, which I'm like,
hey, it's not a bad Hannibal Lecter impression.
And it's like the kids don't really accomplish much. They don't seem to do things.
Wendy, both her parents are alive.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I say I'm not going to go through the canon, and
but
then
doing it anyway.
I was like, all right, who still got their parents? But I got one, so I'm fine.
And it's like I feel like this movie feels really pointless for a good chunk of it, because it's like the vignettes are fine. They range from annoying as shit, like the dogs, to fine, like the train tracks, to Uncle Boris, or whatever his name is, which is actually kind of funny. And then you have Everybody Wants to Be a Cat,
because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
I hate it. I like the instrumentation.
Cool, guys! This guy's on the level!
I like the instrumentation of the song. I don't care for the lyrics. I think they're kind of banal.
It's fair.
But, and it's that kind of earworm that gets into your head. And I would know this because it did when I was a kid, and it's one of the reasons I fucking hated this movie. And it's like, I don't even like this song. Why is it in my head? Get out of my head! You alright?
Oh yeah, I was just kind of laughing at you and stretching at the same time. So, double catharsis.
Son of a bitch. But anyways, and then the finale is just there, and it's like, I guess the butler died because he was trapped in an airtight container all the way to Timbuktu. So it's like, they're gonna have a fun time opening that one up, opening that box up. It's like overall, I didn't like the movie. Now, to be fair, there are things in it I like. I like O'Malley and Duchess.
Yes.
I like, honestly, that's kind of it. I like the main two characters, which is good.
I was hoping you'd be here when we talked about a cat movie.
I mean, it's okay, the two main characters, I like them, but it's like, that's kind of it. So this is a D movie.
It's a D movie.
It's a D movie.
But, I mean, it's not Sword in the Stone.
Yeah. So, your thoughts on the movie, since I've talked long enough.
I liked it. I don't think it's great.
Oh, hi, Cat.
Sorry, I gotta play with my boyo for a bit. You wanna be in the video when we talk about the cat movie? Bonnie! Oh, there he is. There he is. He doesn't wanna be held like that, though.
He's like, dear God, let me go.
I like it. It's a C-tier movie to me. There are parts that are pretty boring, but I don't mind the dogs. It's not like the best Looney Tune cartoon I've ever seen, but it's just kind of like a Looney Tune short. I really like Duchess and O'Malley. I think the kids have their charms. This is a movie where you have a lot more to say than I do, but I love the drunk goose. That is hilarious.
Cat, don't knock the camera over, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bummy.
He's just rubbing up
I'm
against
gonna
the
put
camera.
you on the camera, even though you're shy. All right, but anything else to really say about Aristocats, or are we going to Fox Robin Hood here in a sec?
It's time for Foxy Robin Hood.
All right, so bye.